built into this. So this is a wine museum in Bordeaux, still in France. So now, what is the challenge about BIM is not only to focus on surprising buildings, on unusual buildings, it's first to go to standard buildings and to use a more and more collaborative approach. So first, the first step to go into BIM is first to say, okay, instead of designing in 2D, as we do usual, we design in 3D. For instance, with site-based. There is little interest for BIM in this because there is no collaboration to have. It's very straightforward. So don't need to have a complicated database to communicate on it. The second step is to do what we call BIM solo. BIM solo, it means everyone passes information, everyone, to say the plumber, the concrete contractor, the painter, and so on, will pass information, and there is one single BIM consultant will put everything inside the model. So we have a consistent mock-up of the building. And the last step is to really go collaborative, that is to say, to make that everyone gets the ability to provide information to the 3D model, to the BIM model, and to get some information back from the model by itself without needing the assistance of a third party. So now, with this, further than this process, the purpose is to go to very common buildings. So we are introducing it in France not only for buildings like Fondation Louis Vuitton or a wine museum in Bordeaux, but also for housing projects, so very simple one, for which our intention is to say we want to use BIM to standardize the process so that we can decrease the price of housing and making more affordable for everyone. So this is a housing program we launched in France. We have built already 2 or 3 residencies using this process. So you can see it's a very common building, 4 stories, quite small. So nothing to see with the first project for which BIM was used. So now the next challenge using BIM is not only to keep BIM in the offices, is to bring BIM to site. The first way to bring to site is quite easy, is to say, okay, we should give our engineers of site the capacity to take the 3D model with them on a mobile device. And that is what we do inside our Systems company. One of our field of interest is to provide an app that will help you to have access to the BIM model on your phone. If you have some time, that can show you afterwards some BIM models of buildings directly on just once again on this device. And then to track progress, track defects, track documents related to get some information about the building currently built. But on site, you don't have only site engineers, you have also supervisors or worksmen. And another thing we are studying currently in France is to have this kind of device on the site directly. So usually we have this kind of thing, but without screen, but full of drawings. So it causes lots of problems, because you can never know that the drawing you have inside is the correct one. So giving an access through a connected computer with a screen showing the drawings is maybe a good solution to bring the BIM information directly to site. There are lots of problems to solve about connectivity to network, about robbery of such devices, and about how such electronic devices do all in a site context. But this is the way we are going to. And further than this, going into the future, we can even imagine that we use on site some information that will increase the reality that people can see on sites. Why not? Not only talking about bringing data to man, we can also imagine that we could have some robots on site used to proceed to the repetitive tasks. So this is about the information of the construction, but it's a bit pointless to use, it would be a bit pointless to use digitalization for digitalization itself. Of course, our researchers or developers can take lots of fun, and we should not underestimate the power of taking pleasure in developing some new solutions. But we have to use these two developments to cope with the problems that the world is facing. And what are these problems? As said in the talk just before, we have new technologies, but we are now also facing new challenges, related mainly with two or three events. First thing is that population in the world is concentrating like never indeed in cities. I think now half of the population of the world is living in cities. In a couple of years it will be 70%. Cities unprecedented, and this causes a very high sensitivity to, for instance, transport disruption. I think Bangkok is a good city to see the problems of concentration of population in cities. I was stuck still this morning on traffic jams. I must say it's somewhat difficult to bear. The other aspect that we have to cope with, of course, is climate change. Increasing the probability of natural hazards, including pollution events, flooding, earthquakes. As the population is concentrated, we are much more sensitive to such issues. On top of that, another problem we have is that the resources we have to manage are becoming scarce. Meaning we must now pay attention to what we are using and pay attention to limit the quantity of material we use, including very basic materials like sand. So what do we do for this? And how can digitalization help? We have to find, to develop innovative solutions in all fields related to construction. First, about the materials we are using. We have to find other materials than the ones that are commonly used, because these ones are limited quantity and we have to find something else. So meaning, at best, renewable material, like wool, like wood, like hemp, and to use them into construction instead of traditional materials. We have to think about improving the energy performances of our buildings. This goes through the performances of the systems we are implementing. This also goes back to the very simple design of the building themselves. And one last thing is to think about how we can make our buildings sustainable in the design on the final stage and also during the stage of construction sites. So, one very important thing to think about is how can we anticipate what our building will become in the future. It's very difficult to anticipate. I give you one example of what we did in Paris. For instance, this McDonald's warehouse, so nothing to see with fast food restaurant, completely different. This McDonald's warehouse used to be the biggest building in Paris. A huge warehouse, 500 meters long. It was not used anymore. It had to be turned into something else, and actually it was turned a couple of years ago into many, 15 to 20 different programs, including public housing, private housing, schools, kindergarten, sports halls. And that's a good example of how we can use the existing building to go to the city of tomorrow. This has not easy to do because this warehouse was absolutely not designed for becoming something else. Now that we have easier access to some data, we are able to build some scenarios and we can anticipate the changes in use conditions of our buildings. We are able to anticipate the changes in purpose as well and to build some buildings that will have the ability to be turned easily into something else. And we also have the ability to anticipate how we will operate this change in use, this rehabilitation, and even the disassembly, and possibly the reuse of these elements. And the thing that is coming after this is going to standardization. Standardization, it means buildings like Legos. Meaning we have to standardize the elements we are using in our buildings and to standardize the interfaces between them. This does not mean that we are forced to build all the way the same structures, otherwise it would be a nightmare. But what is very interesting with Legos is when you are fed up with what you build, you can destroy everything and build something completely different with the same pieces. So that's what we are currently preparing. It's, let's say, a work that will be never finished, but we are preparing one toolbox with some basic elements that can be designed under a BIM context and then used to make buildings from standard elements that can be easily moved from one project to other or reused after use first time. Another very interesting we are thinking about related with data in construction is to say, okay, we have the ability now to go towards smart building in the process of construction. So from design to the disassembly. In this workflow, from every step to the next one, some data is sent. To make the construction, you need to have the design. To make the operation, you need to know about the design on the construction, and so on. We also know that there is some data feeding back the previous phases for the next project. We know by experience from construction that we have to take into account some things into the design to improve the way it will be built, and this is the same for all the phases of this life cycle of structures. So, increasing this ability to feed back some data, what does it help? It helps first of all checking whether the structure we build or we design is fulfilling the expectations that we had with it. That's the least we can expect with the structure, with the project. It helps optimizing the maintenance and the repair programs because preparing such a maintenance program means having an idea of what you've built and then having an idea about the lifespan of all elements and then having an idea of how much it will cost to repair or to amend them, and then making a program that will optimize all these costs. And at last, it will have some final feedback even from the construction phase for the design and for the construction phase. This is worse for building. This is worse for everything in this digital, let's say digital era, meaning that having access to an improved data management system, it will make you from the design phase to build scenarios on which you think that what you are designing, whatever it is, will evolve. From these scenarios on knowing what could happen, you can adjust your design. From this adjusting design, this can include some criteria, performance criteria, and some monitoring program to track if you are successful in fulfilling your goals. Then after that, this will help checking if what we achieve really is fitting with what we were expected to reach. And finally, this will help adjusting all the scenarios of how we thought the building will evolve, and then helping to go into a virtuous cycle of optimization of the construction of buildings or cities. This is not applicable only to cities. This is all the purpose, all the way that things like smart cities, smart transportation, smart everything you can imagine is working. So as a conclusion, I don't have any very general conclusion to give to you. I just want to ask you to be curious and aware of the world that is surrounding you. And I think it's probably the best way to generate some ideas that can change the world. So the first thing to take note of is to be aware of the problems that we are facing. And second thing, be aware of what we have in our hands that can help solving these problems. This is the most important thing to have in mind. After that, don't put limit to your imagination. And this is the way to make the work better. And in conclusion to the conclusion, sorry, I don't have any quiz and I don't have t-shirts to propose to you. Vinci is giving a strong push to have his employees innovating, because you know, construction industry is probably the most creative industry existing, because every project is different, and for every project we have to find new ways of doing it. Since this year, this innovation contest is also open to the student world. So we're currently launching an innovation contest, for which I guess we will be sitting here between 1 or 2 weeks with a very the concept that will foster the creation of new ideas with people coming from different backgrounds. So then, and I even think you have to submit at the end some ideas to the AIT management. So how does this work? This innovation contest, to submit your ID, you have to form some teams of 2 to 4 students. So it should be easy among you. To prepare just 3 slides to explain what your idea is about, even if it's not a very precise idea. It can be about anything related with construction, not only engineering topics, but also related with funding, with the way to use the buildings. And the problem is that the end date of the submission is the 1st of February. So it's a very quick. But as you will be sitting here and having some visits and sharing ideas with your possible teammates, I'm pretty sure you will be able to submit some ideas about this contest. What will happen then? There will be some evaluation on the award process from now to the end of this year, finishing with an awarding ceremony on December in Paris. And what can be the achievement for you? So the top prize is, of course, to travel to Paris to get your prize. Don't miss this opportunity to travel to Paris, because it's I'm living in Singapore since 2 years, and I was very happy to go back to Paris, because being far away is maybe the best way to see how wonderful the city is. And to win at the regional level, Apple iWatch or GoPro bundles. So for this, there is only one website to look at. This is this one. I guess you were given a couple of flyers with the same information on this page. I hope you were patient enough to listen to me just before lunch, which is not the best hour. And if you have any question about what we do, about innovation, about Vinci, about this prize, I'm fully open to answer it now. Thank you.